American Eagle. You see, they came out with a very daring campaign with Sydney Sweeney. They decided to actually use an attractive woman. Imagine that. That's how daring it was in their new jeans commercial, and they're catching all kinds of fire for it. But I think it's an interesting moment to take a look at another company that was really dumb in how it approached its marketing, one Bud Light. Because it's kind of like the tale of two companies, the tale of two marketing specialists, one who was too smart for her own good, shall we say, who thought she knew better, and another, I don't know who runs marketing over at American Eagle, but whoever does really gets it. The libs are losing it totally over Sydney Sweeney and her cute jeans, you can see, and she's very, very cute. And, it's not that hard. You want to sell jeans to cute girls. You put a girl that's kind of aspirational in the jeans and suddenly they want to buy them. On the other hand, you want to sell beers and it's typically a male demo that's buying the beers and your answer is Dylan Mulvaney? I mean, again, we got one marketing person that gets it and another that does not. Here's the commercial that's wildly successful.
Composition often is determined by my genes, like hair color, personality, and even eye color. Eyes up here.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
She does. You get it, right?
Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like this? Probably not, but it's still really shocking. Like, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, it's kind of turning into a meme stock. Like, it was a company that had sort of been forgotten about, and now people are looking at it and focusing on it. And you compare and contrast it with, say, AB InBev, which owns Bud Light. Whoa, that's not good. Sales are down 9%, declining volumes. Apparently, the demand is weak, like everywhere, not just in the U.S., but also China and Brazil. Like, nobody wants the beer anymore. I mean, maybe that's in part because nobody's really drinking beer as much anymore, but I think it's still very attributable to a very bad marketing campaign that just wouldn't stop, right? So the Dylan Mulvaney thing versus, say, Sydney Sweeney. And so this really is showing you like two different ways to approach marketing. And one of the funny things about this company is they're like doubling down. They're like, bring it on. And Sydney Sweeney, is like, bring it on. Like, you just dare, right? And I think it's actually making people love them more. I spoke to a friend actually this morning back in the New York area, and she went out, she's like my age, and she bought herself 2 pairs of jeans from American Eagle. She's like, I'm going to support the cause. Like, I'm in. It reminds me of like My Pillow. Remember when like something would happen with Mike Lindell and all of a sudden like pillow sales would go through the roof? It's a different way of marketing, but in some ways it is so brilliant compared and contrasted with the likes of what we saw with Bud Light. So really, I think that this company is going to get to live another day. I mean, heck, you even got Doja Cat. I know nobody knows who Doja Cat is. This came up because we played it yesterday and people are like, who is Doja Cat? I am so lucky I don't know who Doja Cat is. I was one of those people. And then maybe about 2 years ago, she came up in some context of a conversation and my kids informed me about Doja Cat. And then we did something, I think, on the show because she had some crazy costume at the Met Gala. Anyway, Doja Cat, nothing to look at. If you can even see her, I'm like, I don't even know what she really looks like because she's one of those chameleons that has a different hair color all the time and seems to be a different size all the time and is just, looking very weird all the time. That's the one little bit of consistency. Anyway, here she is trying to pretend she's some kind of hillbilly, talking about her jeans and trying to imitate one Sydney Sweeney. Let me just tell you, honey bunny, Doja Cat, you are no Sydney.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Your jeans are blue. Great. So that's the joke about that, apparently, because, she's talking about her jeans, and she's talking about her jeans, her blue jeans being blue. I want to read something that Cat Crazy, who's on the channel all the time, says. Let me get to your comment here. Let me see if I can put it on the screen. It's a little tricky. There we go. Here, I'm going to put it back up here. There we go. They're going crazy because, Sweeney, they just realized that they've been told over and over the last 4 years were lies, right? The actual bar of beauty hasn't changed. It's true. It's really doesn't change as drastically as some would like to think. I mean, I do realize that they tried a different style of campaign back in 2019, and it wasn't necessarily the most healthy looking campaign, shall we say. And you know what? It didn't work. The company was frankly in the toilet, and the sales have not been good, and the company's up against it. And so they decided they were just going to take a chance. And they want that Midwestern, middle American audience. They want those young girls. And so what did they do? They put a hot young girl, right, onto the ad. And what do you know? Things are looking up for this company. So I think that, case in point, you don't need to overthink this stuff. It's not that hard. Beauty's beauty. Beauty usually has something to do with health and fitness because, we're all looking to procreate, right? At some point, if you're looking to procreate, you want to be able to procreate and have a healthy child, etc. Again, it's not like, I don't have to explain all to you guys. I think you get it. I'm just looking for Charlotte's comment here because she said something earlier that I wanted to get to. Anyway, I'm going to keep looking for that here as we continue our show here. But I just think that this is a fascinating story, a tale of two different companies, two very, very different companies. In the meantime, we got a great thing going on here in the US of A, do we not? I mean, Donald Trump managing to deliver 3% GDP growth. We see the consumer spending is still coming in strong. The Federal Reserve actually chose not to move on interest rates, although you had two people that dissented and said, maybe we ought to be doing something right now. I can hear and see the rain behind me. I see rain in front of me. I see rain behind me. You guys probably can't see it because I realize the windows are getting a little bit blown out in the shot, but it's coming down hard. Of course, makes sense where I am right now, still in Ireland. It is wonderful to see all of you here on this show today. Again, at a slightly earlier time. I'm going to be back tomorrow to talk with you just a little bit more about all of this. I think that we can't get away from this story. I cannot get away from this story in terms of everything that's going on vis-a-vis Tulsi, vis-a-vis Brennan, vis-a-vis Obama, vis-a-vis Comey, and what's coming next. It's a very, very important time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will discuss again right here live tomorrow.